Okay, so let's go ahead. We can do our light olive. Kind of come along here. Because it has like this shimmer of light, like a light green. It's like a reflection. So we can put like a slight scumble, just a really light layer of this light olive. And I'm just going to try to follow those lines a little bit, the veins in the petal. And then let's go in with our green ochre. It's going to bring a little bit more of that ochre color, that yellow. And then we'll start putting in our cream. Now when we scumble on here, we don't want to get too far away from our circles, because you'll start getting like loops instead of like a nice like transition of color. Okay, let's go ahead and throw in our cream color. Let's get rid of some of these edges, because when we do this, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to be light about it, but it's a little bit darker than this area, but we don't want these lines to be too dark in our cream, because then they'll shine through, and that's not what we want. Okay. Go ahead and start placing your cream. We're just scumbling it in. I got a little bleed over from this area. There must have been some dust. So sometimes when you have a lot of dust and it's a darker color, and then you pick up with that lighter color, it kind of makes it a little muddy. But in this case, I really don't mind it, because we have like all those pinks and stuff going to come in anyhow. So I'm not going to fight that. Pretty good. Okay, so we're just working on this little chunk right there. And it's a shadowed white. So what we're going to see is not necessarily like the whites that we have like in these other petals, but we have the green ochre, and we're going to be messing with different tones and shades, and just trying to really push it to the limit of being a shadowed white color. So now I have the green ochre, and I'm just starting to lightly put in some of those lines. And I don't want to push hard. I just want to really softly add these lines. And if you look up here, it's a lot brighter because it's kind of poking out in front of this petal. So there's a point where we see like right in here where it stops being the shadowed area, but the highlight. So we're just going to slow down in that area just to make sure that we don't overcolor with our pencil. So just very gently, I'm not pushing on the paper. I'm making sure that I'm staying within those lines where we see all these little textures and veins of the petal, and I don't want to ruin that movement of the flower petal here. And what I mean by movement is you're seeing this curl, and your eyes should be led to follow this bottom line and then curve up with the petal. When we move our eyes around, you know, we follow these different ripples and ridges. So we want to keep that feeling throughout the portrait. Right here, it turns into like a pink. So we're going to lessen the length of this green area. When we start getting over here, we start getting lines out this way. So it changes on you. So you just watch. Okay, so let's go ahead in with our olive now. And we're just going to come around the bottom. Just like this. And we don't want to go up too far because we're not seeing a lot of like heavy greens up here. So we can kind of creep into it, but nothing major. Then again, if you want to do that, it's your piece. You can do that. It does not have to look exactly like the reference photo. You just need to have fun. Just bring this around here. All right, and I like the way that that looks. So now what I want to do is I want to get out my Bordeaux, and I'm going to start to, well, maybe no, I'm indecisive. Let's go ahead and block it out. Instead of going straight in with our dark color, let's block it out with some of our granite rose, just where we want these pinks at. So I'm looking at the relative shapes here, like they're related, like this one's like right here. So I'm looking at the space, okay? So I want to put this little pink right here and then bring it up here.